Welcome back to School Quiz students. I'm your biology educator Swati, and in today's video we are going to study what actually the health is and how it is different from the diseased condition. And if you are new to my channel, I will advise you to watch my two previous videos which is related to illness and the mechanism behind the illness so that you can get the concepts in a better way, because I have started each and everything from the basics, and basic terminologies is very important to understand those things. So without further ado, let's start the video. So in this topic, in this, what the first is, what is disease? So disease is something in which the physical condition of the body or the functioning of the body is basically hampered. So that means if something is in a normal state, so from normal state it is been transformed into a disease state or a abnormal state. Suppose if we can say like there is a swelling in our legs, toothache can be there. So there can be certain conditions in our body which are abnormal or which are quite different from the normal, in which we will be facing some difficulty related to chewing the food and having our diet properly. Similarly, suppose if you are having stomach pain, so in that case you will be having some spasms in your stomach, and you will not be able to eat your food properly. So those are the things. So basically, if we talk about definition wise, in terms of definition, the disease basically is any physical or functional change. So physical change means which is physically observed, like we can see that, we can visualize that. Suppose you know that when jaundice is caused, so there is yellowishness which is quite evident in the eyes of patients, or the knuckles of these nails also turn yellow. So these are something which can be physically seen. Or like suppose someone is having some injury in the leg, so that is also something which we can see physically. And then comes functional. So functional condition is something in which, suppose if someone just fractured their hand or some situation is there, so they will not be able to use their hand in that efficient manner. So in that way it can be physical, but either it's physical or it's functional. In both the cases, the normal state of the body will be changed to the abnormal state, and in that way the efficiency of the working of a person will be reduced. Or it is the condition of the body in which either we can have like whole of the body is affected with that particular condition or the syndrome, or we can also have like some part is affected. Like suppose we can say like intestine is affected, or stomach is affected, eyes are affected, like in conjunctiva if we can talk about, so the eyes are affected. If we talk about pneumonia, lungs are basically affected. So different organ can also be a target of some particular disorder. Like ulcers are there. So ulcers basically are because of the excessive secretion of the HCl and other acid which take place in our stomach only. Okay, so the function is basically hampered, because if something is happening, like we know, suppose like you are having ulcer, so if you are having ulcer, there will be high secretion of acid already in your body, so you will not be able to have whatever you want, whatever your desired dishes are. You have to follow the proper protocol or the precautions which your doctor suggests you, so that you just eat those things. And like the digestion of like your food will also be not that efficient at that particular situation. So in that way these things will be changed, and like over time when we will see like we will get to see the symptoms, then only if we see some particular symptom is there in our body, so we will visit the doctors can have some tests or other medical procedures are followed at the hospital, and after that we will take some medicines or the treatment, and in that way the proper functioning will be like reclattered back in that way. Okay, so once more I would like to tell you that disease is something in which physical or functional changes seen in our body, or it can also be of a body or particular organ in body also, where normal stage is changed to the abnormal stage in the body. Now how we will get to know that we are diseased or we are having some disease? So to know that whether you are having a particular disease or not, what we look for is symptoms. Symptoms particularly is something which is personally felt by a person who is affected with particular disorder. Suppose you are having stomach pain, so you can tell me, ma'am, I am feeling some spasms in my stomach. Ma'am, I am having toothache. Ma'am, I am having some itching sensation in my eyes. So these all things what are actually felt by the patient himself or herself comes under the category of symptoms only. And when we see that these particular symptoms, we just plan out to visit a doctor or some general physician, and on base of those signs, like suppose high blood pressure is there, or some many a times doctor advises to take urine test, blood test, saliva test, or particular type of tests are performed, so that they can be like sure that yeah, like this actually is a problem which the patient is facing, and according to that only the medical treatment is given to the patient. Okay, so these are two things which help us to get to know that whether a person is diseased or not. So it will be uh, just identified with the symptoms and the signs of that particular disorder. Now comes, like I said that are you healthy, or are you healthy? So do you think that if someone is diseased free, so that person is healthy also? Means like can these two words, disease free and healthy, used for like replacement of the two words? So let me clear to you students, this is not the case. Being disease free is very very different from being healthy. When we talk about health, like suppose if you are talking to some of your friend and you say the health of my grandmother is not that good, she is having some issues, like suppose she is not able to walk properly. So for your grandmother it is in terms of physical condition. Okay, and suppose like you are present in the class, but you are not paying attention to whatever your teacher is saying. So your teacher says, suppose XYZ student, your behavior is, this is not a healthy attitude in the class. So in that manner, at that time, the healthy word is used for the attitude or the behavior you are showing in the class. So that is something related to mental condition of you. Okay, so when we talk about health, health is something in which we consider physical state of a person, mental state of a person, as well as physical as well as social well-being of the individual. When we talk about physical well-being, that means a person is able to do his or her routine activities by himself or herself without taking any help from the other person. If we talk about mental health, so in mental health basically comes that you are able to take proper sleep, you are not following a repeated cycle of like overthinking thoughts, or some negative or deteriorating thoughts are coming to your mind time and again. And then comes the social well-being, in which it is seen that how compatible you are with your society and how the bonding you are representing in your society. Okay, like it should not be like, there can be two kind of people. Some people can be quite extroverts, or they are like very welcoming with each and every people. On the contrary, there are some people who just are comfortable in their own company, like they are introverts. But when we talk about socially isolated person, that means a person who is having fear of meeting new peoples, and that fear can be because of certain reasons. Like that particular person can have some past history, because of that particular person is thinking in that way, or like that fear is there. So in that way the health is basically counted. Okay, so when we talk about a person is healthy, so it should be considered in terms of physical parameters, mental parameters should be considered, and then comes social well-being. Okay, that how socially we are interacting with the people or the society. So in short, we can say health is not something which is just confined to an individual. It is something in which the society plays its equal role. The society or the environment in which a person is living plays equal role. Like nowadays a term is very famous, like healthy work culture should be there, balanced work life should be there. So it is something in which your surrounding and environment comes to play, where like to work properly, to show your 100% efficiency, you need people who are supportive with you, where you don't have much clashes in your thoughts, and you can have just a smooth and easy life. And in that way it is very important to take care of all of these things. And students, if you want to have your good physical health, I would suggest you that you should regularly go for exercises. You should do some aerobic exercise, some cardiac exercise, you can do some yoga, you can do, in which the oxygen circulation of your body is properly maintained, and you can just feel the freshness of the surrounding and the environment. And when it comes to mental health, for your mental health you can try with some meditations, and at some level we can also take advices with our family members at certain points as and when we require. And when we talk about social well-being, so we should try to have a coexisting relationship with each and everyone out there in our society. Like, I'm not saying that you should be over friendly or friends with each and everyone, but at least we should try to have a proper rapport we can have with the people. That okay, like if someone is professional, so we should know how to deal with that person professionally. And if we are having a good decent bond with someone, so in that way also things can be worked out. Okay, so it's not just restricted to a certain individual. In this, the society and community plays its evident role. Okay, and when we talk about diseased free condition, diseased free condition is something in which there is a absence of disease. Means you are not having any disease in your body. That means something physical is not there in your body, or there is rearrangement of the function, means the functioning is also proper, and there is no disease in the body. So at that time you can say you are disease free. But at that time you mainly talk about your physical health only. We don't know about the social status of the person, or like how mentally the person is feeling. Okay, and it basically refers to the individual only. It is about individual. If you are having a stomach ache, if you are having some injury, it is more related to you only. It is in this condition, there is not something where like environment don't play much role here. Okay, in this situation. And on basis of individual, we can have good health can also be there, and poor health also be there. So good health is something in which a person is physically fit, mentally person is fit, socially person is compatible with the society. So in that way we can say that a person is having quite good and sound health. And when we talk about poor health, so in poor health a person can have some mental issues can be there, lack of sleep can be there, insomnia can be there, or like in that way the poor health comes. So like we it's not always a condition that disease free is always connected to being healthy. Okay students, so I just hope that now you are clear with what actually the illness is, what health is, what disease is, and like how we can identify if there is some disease in our body on base of signs and symptoms which we are observing. And in the next video we will go with like how the community affects the individual's health and how it plays its role. And then in later on videos we will see the causes of the diseases and what all are the categories of the diseases. But before that, once again I would like to remind you that please watch the previous videos so that you can have a good concept is built and you just know each and every concept in a proper manner, so that when we proceed with the further and higher concepts, you are there, you each and every concept is there in your mind and you are actively able to understand other things. That's all for the video, students. If you have any queries, if you want any special topic on which I should make video, you should tell me in the comment section. And I also want to know from your end that are you liking my video and what are the things which I need to improve or what are the good things in my video. So your suggestions, your comments are just my source of motivation to work for your betterment. So please, students, keep supporting School Quiz. That's all for the video. Bye bye.